Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Welcome everyone to my first episode in 2026 of This is FLOXED on the USA Global Radio, Global TV and Radio Network. This is FLOXED is dedicated to raising awareness for fluoroquinolone toxicity syndrome, which is also known as being FLOXED, which basically means that a person is experiencing the adverse effects of a fluoroquinolone antibiotic like ciprofloxacin, levofloxacin, and many others. There is no treatment. There is no cure or standard treatment protocol for fluoroquinolone toxicity. People that are FLOXED experience widespread systemic adverse reactions, including mitochondria damage and a weakened immune system that enables continuous viruses, autoimmune responses, and complex chronic illnesses. Most people that are FLOXED are usually unable to get help from the Western medical system, and they turn to functional medicine, naturopaths, and integrative medicine doctors to try to help with these devastating symptoms. Even in this case, treatment is not an exact science, rather a series of trials and errors. Additionally, because the effects are so widespread, it is difficult to treat even for the few doctors that do understand fluoroquinolone toxicity. If you're watching this show and are FLOXED and are looking for a doctor, I have to caution you to be careful who you pick. And this is why on my website you won't see many doctors, and I don't recommend many doctors, because it's one thing to go to a doctor that simply doesn't help, but it's another, to go to a doctor that may do some damage. We are already so damaged enough from the fluoroquinolone antibiotic that choosing the wrong doctor can set you back years. So it's very important that you pick a good doctor, no matter how desperate you are for healing. Today, my special guest is Dr. Hugh Wegwerth, who is classically trained and educated as a doctor of chiropractic since 1999. However, Dr. Hugh's passion for helping people started at home as he faced his own health challenges and then watched his father struggle with severe health issues. His father was 400 pounds, prescribed 16 different daily medications, and after years of the only options that were ever given to him was more surgery and more medication, his father passed away at the age of 69 years old. After watching his father suffering, Dr. Hugh decided to dedicate his life to helping people avoid being trapped in a medical system that only covers up symptoms instead of addressing the root cause. As a result, Dr. Hugh started practicing as a certified functional medicine clinician in 2010, helping thousands of people heal by uncovering the root causes of their health challenges, especially those that had been harmed by antibiotics and conventional medical treatment. Dr. Hugh's philosophy is simple, and I quote on his website, "Health is possible when you identify and address the root cause. No one should live sick, exhausted, and stuck without answer." And just as an FYI, in 2020, Dr. Hugh transitioned his practice fully online. It's virtual, so he's able to help people across the country and across the world, and he's taking new patients. So with that, I will kick off the show and welcome Dr. Hugh and let the viewers know that if you're asking questions and we're not answering, it's just because we're saving them to the end. We will get to the questions. So Welcome, Dr. Hugh, to This is FLOXED, my first show of 2026.
I appreciate you having me, and I appreciate that introduction. And I just want to give a bunch of value to all the human beings that are suffering and are watching this show here.
Thank you. Yeah, that felt like it was a long introduction, but you have quite the career. So to kick off the show, you were traditionally trained as a chiropractor. So how did you get into fluoroquinolone toxicity? Like, how did you find us Floxies in that career path?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I've always been on a path to actually just know things. Like, that's just how my personality is, to know things. And I was in physical practice until 2020. And in 2010, I started taking just basically some functional medicine courses. Clients were coming into me, or patients coming into me with like hypothyroid conditions. And I just wanted to know more. So that's when I started going in and searching more answers and going to like basically a deeper root cause for people. And then in about 2017, someone just walked in my practice, my physical practice, and said that they were hurt by this thing called fluoroquinolones. I had no idea what it was, couldn't spell it, didn't know anything, zero about it. But she thought I could help her. And I looked at what she was doing. And at that time, I thought I could help her as well. And I didn't have the vast knowledge that I have now. And I put her on a treatment program, and like, boom, she popped. And she got better. And then she's like, thousands of people are suffering. And maybe she even said 10,000s of people are suffering. And I had no idea about this at all. And then just one thing led to the other, and people started seeing her video. And then people started reaching out all over like the world. And I just started to just get more into it and doing more research on it and helping more people and expanding my protocols. And this is where I am today, because that's really what started the whole thing, is that one gal walking into my practice, saying a word, I didn't know even what it was. And here we are today. And so that's really how I got here.
Does she know that she was patient zero?
She knows that. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That word again? Like, wait, like, let me, how do I spell that? And so, yeah, she knew she was patient zero for sure. Yes. But she was willing to try, because she was at that point where, you know, like a lot of people are, they need to try something different. And in 2017, there was really no virtual practice. There was no Zoom. So it was all physical medicine, going into someone's practice and trying to get help.
Yeah. One of the things when we were talking about your protocol and I was looking at all your videos, I call it the unique pillars of your treatment protocol, because you discuss low-grade chronic sinus infections, you know, that leads to brain fog, headaches, chronic fatigue, and all this other stuff. And when I saw that, it was like this light bulb, because as you can imagine, I get people that are floxed messaging me all the time that they have to take antibiotics and they're petrified after being floxed. And I always ask, well, what are you taking it for? And I can't tell you how many times they're telling me they have sinus infections. So as soon as I saw this part of your protocol, I thought, oh my goodness, I bet there are Floxies that can benefit from this whole thing that you have about chronic sinus infections. So my question is, how does this affect someone that is floxed? And how does someone find out if they are one of these people that have a low-grade chronic sinus infection?
Yeah, so that's a great question. All this stuff that I've created comes out of a necessity, right? So with practice, it's called practice because you need people to practice on and trial and error. Like you were saying, there's no set standard or protocol for any of this. Everyone is unique. Everyone has unique weaknesses that need to be figured out. Now, one of the things with my philosophy, and this comes down to the chiropractic philosophy, and this is the one of the bedrocks, is I believe that God designed us to be healthy. Like, God put the most amazing healing power in our body to heal ourselves. So when I look at someone that has been damaged, I need to look at, so what's hindering that God-given ability to heal that person's body? So that's where the exploration starts to go on. So everything on my website, everything that you see came out of a necessity. So a lot of these clients were coming to me. I'm like, well, how did you get damaged? Oh, I had a sinus infection. And then they put these on my drugs and put me on these fluoroquinolones. And now all of a sudden I've been floxed. So what I've been seeing or was seeing is reoccurring people that have low-grade sinus infections or had sinus infections, chronic sinus infections, and they were put on these antibiotics and they got damaged. but the sinus infection was never actually healed up. So the problem with this, and this is chronic, if you've ever had a sinus infection and you've taken these antibiotics, I'd be willing to bet you that you have a low-grade sinus infection that you're just living with and don't even know that you have it there. So it's really kind of simple to determine this. Is in here, what I'll tell clients to do is when I'm on the Zoom call, I'll just say, okay, put your two thumbs here, and you want to push really, really hard on the bridge of your nose right here. And if that's tender, you're actually pushing on sinus cavities there. And you can have biofilms. If people don't know what biofilms are, there's basically they're bugs, bacteria that sit in like balloons and are housed there. If that's tender, that's telling you that you probably have some kind of low-grade sinus infection. Move out to the sides of the bridge right here. Push. Is that tender? Now, there's a difference between bone, just like bone pain, and the tenderness. Like you're going to know this, right? So if that's tender, that's probably telling you have some kind of low-grade infection. And then go up right here, push right in here. And if that's tender, that's another indication that your sinus cavities are inflamed or low-grade infection. And then you can go up to your head, and I have no hair, right? So my hair fell out, went to my back. It fell out of my head, went to my back. Okay, so just push in here. Like if your head feels squishy, that means that there's inflammation in your head. Like me, like it's just skin. Like there's no inflammation there. But a lot of people just push here. Is that squishy? Yeah, that's squishy. That's telling you that there's inflammation in your brain. And here's another one. You go in the roof of your mouth. Now, if you have questions of this, go to my website and just put sinus. There's like you can do a little blog or a little search, sinus, and this is going to pop up. You put your thumb right here, and you push up and out. And if that's tender, that's going to indicate that you have low-grade sinus infections. And why is that so important? Because these bugs here will actually get into your brain and they'll cause neuroinflammation. And what I've seen clinically is when people take these drugs, these fluoroquinolones, they have leaky gut and they have leaky brain. So when God designed us, he designed our gut cells and our brain cells very similar in structure. So if you have a leaky gut, and basically everyone that comes to me has some kind of gut problems. So normal GI should be making 2 to 3 bowel movements every single day, no gas, no bloating, no diarrhea. If you have something other than that, you probably have a leaky gut, and then you have a leaky brain, then you have neuroinflammation, and then a lot of fatigue. And that just kind of expands out. Like people just can't get better because their brain's not functioning better. So on the website, there's a whole very specific protocol that you can do to try and actually get rid of these bugs in your sinus glands, which you can do actually at home. So that's kind of how it came all about with the low-grade sinus infection, Talia.
Yeah, I was sitting here. I said, how many people are doing this?
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's, oh, yeah, it is tender. It is tender.
I was. Does it hurt? Oh, my God. Do I have a sinus infection?
Yeah. Or then you can breathe this. Like, can you breathe normal? Do you have good nostril flow? All these are indications that, there's some kind of sinus infection in there. And there's just when you talk about breathing and mitochondria, and everyone knows that these drugs like destroy mitochondria. So if you're not breathing well, you're not getting in maximum oxygen. So if you're not getting in maximum oxygen, then the mitochondria, which are already damaged from the drugs, aren't getting like enough oxygen. That's just another problem on top of all these other problems that people are coming with.
So I'm going to ask you next about just to give a quick overall what you do for your fluoroquinolone toxicity protocol. I just wanted to call this chronic sinus inflammation out because I cannot tell you how many emails I get about it. But could you explain briefly overall what your fluoroquinolone toxicity treatment protocol looks like?
Yeah. And it's always changing. Like it's an amoeba. Like there's nothing is stagnant. Like what I was doing 3 months ago isn't what I'm doing today. Now, is there similarities? For sure, but there's a lot of differences what I'm doing now. So one of the things I think that's really a problematic in this community when it comes to getting help is no one's looking at what I call like the low hanging fruit. Every individual that's been damaged has individual uniquenesses that need to be figured out and addressed. It can't be like a blanket statement. Now, there's definitely certain protocols that I do for every single one because I want to make sure all these things are working and none of the low-hanging fruit is missed. So, for example, there's really 3 low-hanging fruits that you want to rule out for sure. One, and this is particular for thin females. All right, thin females, they have hypoglycemia, and I would say it would be subclinical hypoglycemia. So what does that mean? I like to see blood sugar, and I have a protocol for this. It's super simple. It's on my website. I like to see blood sugar between 85 and 120. If it's below that, right, with or without food. So a lot of what I find clinically is women are sitting at 75, 65. That's not good, or they'll jump up really high. So the first one is hypoglycemia, subclinical hypoglycemia. The second thing is subclinical low blood pressure. And again, this is common for women.
Mm-hmm.
Is blood pressure is like, they'll give you a high five. You go to a doctor and you have like low blood pressure, like you're almost passing out. They'll give you a high five, like, yeah, you're not going to die from heart disease. Yeah, but you're not getting any blood anywhere, right? So suboptimal blood pressure, I like to see anything lower like 105 over, like, let's say 70 is a problem for me, because the blood pressure is needed to get nutrients deep into the tissue, deep into the mitochondria. So if you don't have correct blood pressure, you just can't get nutrients in there. It would be like a water balloon. If you take a water balloon and you blow it up, put a lot of water in there, and you put a bunch of pins and needles in there, the water comes out very quickly initially. But when it gets smaller, just a little bit of water gets out. Well, that water is your blood. That's where the nutrients are housed. So if you have suboptimal blood pressure and chronic sinus infection, like, your brain's just not going to heal. Your feet aren't going to heal, because that needs blood pressure as well. So that's the second one. And then the third thing is subclinical anemia. So you can't be diagnosed with anemia. You're not that bad, but you're definitely not in the sweet spot. Like, the sweet spot when it comes to anemia or iron, because iron delivers oxygen. So a lot of women are subclinical anemia, and then they're not getting enough oxygen delivered, on top of hypoglycemia and hypoblood pressure, on top of a chronic sinus infection, on top of leaky gut. So this is where the uniquenesses really need to come in, and these things need to be like looked at for each individual. And then once you start to go through these different like weaknesses and just restore that physiology, then the power that made the body, right, can start to heal the body. And then this is when people get well.
Yeah, so this is what I mean about your protocol being unique. I've met with a lot of FLOXED doctors, well, a lot, the ones that we do have, and no one's ever been talking to me about blood sugar or blood pressure. And I can tell you for myself, what you just mentioned is all me: low blood sugar, low blood pressure, all that. And there are so many people that are like me, and they'll reach out and say, oh, my blood pressure is like 70 over whatever. Is that normal? I'm like, this is what I'm like now since I've been FLOXED. I don't know, but no, not one single person has ever tried to address that ever. And
that is, Talia, that is epidemic. I'm telling you, I see it all the time with that trio there. And in my viewpoint, this is just my viewpoint, right? Everyone has their different viewpoints. Like, how much money is in a blood pressure cuff? 20 bucks. Mm-hmm. How much money does it take to get to check your blood sugar? It's simple. You just get a blood sugar meter like diabetes. You check your finger, go on my website. The whole protocol's there. It's 20 bucks, right? How much is in iron? These are what I call the not shiny coin. A lot of people, when they get damaged, they want to go and they want to get the brightest shiny coin, which is usually the most expensive, right? And because it's the shiny thing, it's the sexy thing to do. And this is just my viewpoint, what I've seen clinically. But then nothing is being addressed for the low-hanging fruit. And everyone with 100% certainty out there, if you're damaged, you have low-hanging fruit that hasn't been addressed. And that could be the difference between making and breaking your case. Because when you really talk about healing's not one thing, like a monotherapy approach. Like, it's one thing. You're going to do stem cell, one thing, right? Getting better has to do with a polytherapy approach, which just means many. And that many polytherapy approach is really, there's uniquenesses on each individual that's been damaged based on their God-given healing capacity and their weaknesses in their physiology, which is really not being addressed at all.
Yeah. So someone that starts seeing you as a patient, you would first like address the low hanging fruit and then move on to more
always
complicated.
Always.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like testing, Like I like great blood work. Like great blood work, you can get like a great panel, like 9-10 vials of blood. That can be like your fishing net. That's what I start with. But then I tell people, if people aren't healing or moving the needle in 6 to 8 weeks, then you might want to do some more advanced testing, such as heavy metals, environmental pollutants, or molds. So that can be a hindrance as well. So you always need to start with the low-hanging fruit and then move forward from there. And the thing is, everything is on my website. All these things are on the website if you can connect all these different dots when it comes to your specific case.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm going to have to ask you this because of my situation.
Yeah.
But did you have experience treating people that have mast cell or are extremely sensitive and not able to take many supplements or even eat many foods? Because that's definitely a hindrance in healing.
For sure. And I think most people that come to me have some kind of mast cell activation. Some people are always inflamed, right? So if you have a gut problem, if you have bloating, gas, constipation, diarrhea, like you're inflamed, that's going to cause these mast cells to start producing histamines to some degree or another. So I would say the whole treatment program, the whole protocol, one of the things that we're trying to do is decrease any kind of inflammation that would be going on into the body. And this is where these like uniquenesses really come into play. And if you can reduce the inflammation, you're going to reduce the mast cell activation. And what I found clinically too, as well, this is probably this is something that everyone here can do right now. I've seen this clinically time in and time again is clients will come to me and I have them write down what they're eating. And they always write down this. This is like healthy chicken and vegetables. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is ingrained in people's minds is that vegetables are healthy. You might be out there thinking, well, they are. And I just tell you to look at a different viewpoint. In my experience, chicken and vegetables is like one of the worst meals that people can be eating day in and day out. A lot of people have sensitivities to vegetables. Like you have to look at this is these vegetables actually have like poisons in them, isothiocyanates that insects don't like to eat. Now, I'm not saying that every human being has sensitivity to vegetables, but I'm telling you the people that I see are very sensitive. And once they eliminate vegetables, like things clear up. So something that you could do very simply, everyone here watching this, is you could do a carnivore-ish diet, which is basically meat and fruit. And that's going to eliminate a lot of these foods that you may be sensitive to. And the thing is with this carnivore-ish meal is the fruit that you want to eat is a fruit that you can eliminate the seeds from. So for example, an apple, you can eat an apple without eating the seed. A pear, you can eat a pear without the seed. Now you want to avoid strawberries, raspberries, bananas, because all those things have the seeds in there. And those slight little poisons in there, like seeds are protected. Like God created those seeds to have like protective mechanisms around there so they don't taste very good. And those can have little poisons in there. So this is when another thing that's like just taken the clinical thing where I've gotten better results here over a period of time when I've just implemented these different things here. And one of these things where everyone can do this is do fruit and then meat, carnivore-ish. Try that for 6 to 8 weeks and see what happens. Real simple.
That's all carnivore is just meat and fruit? Fruit without seeds.
I recommend that's because I think people need carbs, right? So what I recommend initially is people eat meat and then they eat fruit for 4 to 6 weeks, anywhere 6 to 8 weeks, or 4 to 8 weeks ballpark, and just to see if that clears up any kind of mast cell activation. If you had food sensitivities of vegetables and you had no idea this was occurring, and then you get bloating and gas, and that causes more leaky gut and leaky brain, and then more inflammation, and then the mitochondria gets damaged, and that's more inflammatory processes occurring.
Okay, this might sound silly, but what if you take a fruit and take the seeds out, strain them out? Can you eat it then, or is it still bad because it had the seeds?
I would tell you initially, and this is just where I got the best results. Initially, I would tell people, if someone comes to me that they're really damaged, I would say, you just got to eat meat and then fruit with no seeds.
Okay.
Do it just for 4 weeks. Because I've seen people that are sensitive to the seeds in the fruit. And when I say sensitive, I'm meaning like it causes an exacerbation of their problem.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of people sensitive to vegetables, especially when they have SIBO, and they get all torn up from eating that stuff. So
yeah, and then the narrative is like eat more vegetables.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing? I'm eating healthy. I'm eating chicken, which has no fat, and I'm eating all these vegetables, and I still feel horrible. Like, and it's just like ingrained in our consciousness with society out there.
Yeah. In your experience, what is the biggest mistake you see Floxies make in their healing journey?
And that is going to the shiny coin initially. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, I think these therapies work. They do work. Like stem cell, PRP. PRP is way more affordable than stem cell. Exosomes. These therapies work, but they should never, ever, ever, this is my viewpoint, be the first line of therapy. They cost huge amounts of money, and they never get to the underlying root cause of the problem if you have these low-hanging fruits that are out. Now, people might go there and they might pop, right? They pop and they feel great. They feel like Superman or Superwoman. But as soon as they leave, because none of the underlying root causes have been really handled and addressed, then these people just go back in a rut. And, then they're really disheartening because, they spent 30 grand, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I can tell you that has been the story of so many people that are floxed. The problem is that when people get floxed, they're under this. I hate this word detox. Like, I really hate it now. Yeah. They think that they've been floxed and they immediately have to detox. So they find a doctor that says, I'll detox all the fluoride out of you in a week or 2 weeks or whatever it is. And they go to these doctors and they end up worse off. They don't know the genetics. They don't know if they have the MTHR gene. Sometimes they get mast cell after going to these kinds of doctors because they can't pump out, get rid of the toxins as fast as the doctor's pushing the stuff in to get it out. Yeah. And they end up doing more harm to themselves. And I have seen many people too that have good experiences, and they come home and 3 months later, they don't feel good again. Yeah. And they have to go back. So it's exactly what you're talking about. And I know Floxies hate it when I say, don't go do those treatments at the beginning. Don't, because they just want to get it out. But that's not what it's about. Like, no detox.
Yeah, I'm in 100% agreement with that. Totally. And people think like it's not as simple as just like pulling something out. Like, you have to realize like there's damage there because the physiology now is weak. So I never, if someone's very fragile, I'm not detoxing. Like, I'm just not. Like, the first thing I'm going to be doing is working all the things I just addressed, what I just talked about here. Working on their gut. Working on like phosphatidylcholine to do the cell membranes, which is very, very critical. And I found clinically that since I switched over to like using as many products from Quicksilver Scientific as possible, and since I've done that, I've gotten way, way better results with their supplements. And they have a great product called Membrane Mend. And this is something that you can start to take to start to heal. It's phosphatidylcholine, like cell membrane therapy, to start to get the cell membranes increase their structure with phosphatidylcholine and make them able to self-detox. Because if you don't have enough phosphatidylcholine, or if it's damaged, or if you're inflamed, or if you have mast cell activation, these things eat away at your cells of phosphatidylcholine and becomes very crusty. So just like replacing with phosphatidylcholine will just allow the God-given natural detoxification to get in and out of the cells, because the cells are no longer crusty. But at the end of the day, people are way too fragile to start like cranking heavy detox. It's just you never start with detox first. Start with the low-hanging fruit, decrease inflammation, build cell health, and whatever other weaknesses that they have, then you need to address those things as well.
Yeah, and obviously, all my videos say that. I'm in total agreement. And the other thing I say to Floxies is that you have no idea what else is going on in you. So you're trying to detox. Oh, you didn't know you had mold, or you had Lyme disease. Surprise, surprise. Yeah. Now you're sicker than you first were, because all those toxins are just recirculating because you can't excrete them. So please, people, please do
do
not run
hardcore
off and
detox.
do not
There's
run
so
off
many
and do.
things, Talia, that can be done before you even touch.
I know.
It's just like there's
know.
like.
It's just that we're so desperate, and you hear a doctor say, I'm going to detox you and you'll be running in a week or whatever it is, and you're so desperate, you just do it.
Yeah.
And then afterwards you're dealing with the fallout for months, maybe years. Like,
Yeah.
this is why I like I said, I don't have many doctors on my website, and I don't recommend many people for this exact reason.
Yeah.
I think, people have to be very careful on who they pick to treat them. And if you're seeing how do I say this? Like, a lot of these doctors have a lot of confidence, right? And they'll say stuff to you like, 95% success rate. I'm definitely going to heal you. When you heal these things, they should be flags. They shouldn't make you feel good. They should be red flags. Because if you're saying you heal 95, 99, if you say 100, I've had someone say they heal 100 people.
Yeah, you got to run.
Yeah, no doctor in history has ever healed 100% of their patients. None. Yeah. So if you hear that, no matter how desperate you are, don't go. I cannot stress it enough. I am getting so many emails from people that are harmed and are sicker after these treatments. So this is why I'm pushing this so hard. Please don't do it.
Yeah.
Please.
I think that's really critical. As a practitioner, when someone comes to me and they want some help and they do a plan, like, there's a lot of responsibility for me to like help them. Right. So I take that like very, very seriously when someone comes to me, and I'll be the first one to tell you, like, not everyone gets better that comes to me. Mm-hmm. But here's one thing I can guarantee is when people come to me, I try really, really, really hard to figure it out. But at the end of the day, I don't figure out every single case. And I do feel that I'm always willing to try different things and learn different things and apply different things. And I think over a period of time, that's where you can can help more people, but there's always going to be failures. There's always going to be super tough cases that a skill set that I have just doesn't help people, like, for sure. And yeah, people that say that they heal 100%, that's just this is ridiculous.
Yeah. And, in the conversations that we had, this was one of the things that I said I liked about you and why I wanted to have you on the show, that you were honest.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I can't heal everybody. And I'm still researching, because fluoroquinolone toxicity is not like, it's nothing standard about it. You have to figure it out, and it's individualized. And that's what I said was one of my favorite things about you, is that you were like that and not making false promises, because every Floxy that's watching this right now, we don't need false promises. We don't need unicorns and rainbows. We need the truth, and we need to get healed. And if the truth isn't good, it's not good. I'd rather hear the truth than this fake thing that's never going to happen to me. So yeah. I think that's important when people think about going to see you, that you are that kind of doctor that is extremely honest and cares and will do the research, not like a factory. I have all these Floxies. I do this protocol. I treat them, pump them in and out.
There's a lot like that.
Yeah, you're not like that. So This is why you're on my show. And I think
I appreciate that.
And I think the people that watch my show know I do my due diligence like that before I'll have someone come on the show. I would never recommend someone like that.
Yeah.
So
can I go over a couple new breakthroughs I think that could help people? Okay. Mm-hmm. So if you go to my website in the last 3 months, I don't have the book here, but I've been reading this book that has connected a lot of things for me. And if you go to my website and you go to the blogs there, there you go. Oh, beautiful. Okay, go to the blogs. Whoever's doing this is doing a great. Scroll down. Oh yeah. Okay. I love this. This is beautiful. Okay. So hit that one right here. Why chronic illness won't heal this. Click that. Read more. Okay. So I found this correlation. If you could scroll down. I have a sauna. I've been doing saunas here in my house for like 3 years now. Scroll down a little bit more until you see the sauna blanket. Now, one of the things one of the things that I've discovered is more. Yeah. Okay. So the infrared sauna blanket can put a wavelength, far infrared, in your body, And the research has shown that that can actually stimulate mitochondria. And it's not about detoxifying. It's not about sweating. Just like Talia said, it's not about detoxing. You can have these things at 100 degrees. You want the wavelength. The wavelength. Can you scroll down? If someone can still scroll down, would be great. Right there. That thing right there on Amazon. So it's the wavelength that gets into your mitochondria and penetrates the mitochondria, and it does some amazing things. One of the things is it's called easy water, and it transforms the structure of your water in cells, so the cells hold more energy, right? So when you talk about mitochondria, we want more energy production. And I tell people, this is not about sweating. It's not about detoxification. It's literally just about getting the wavelength, the far infrared, which God designed us to have. That comes from the sun. 53% of these wavelengths that come and hit us, you can't see. Like, these are the wavelengths that you're getting. And if you're sitting in your house all day because you're damaged, you're not getting this wavelength. Very simple. What it was $100 here. It was $100 for Christmas. That was $139. So that's the one breakthrough I've had. The second breakthrough is, if you have chronic illness, you're electron deficient. So I have another website on that, a blog on that. But it's very simple. You can get a grounding sheet or a grounding mat, and that will flow electrons into your body. Because if you have chronic illnesses, you are electron deficient. So one, you're going to hit the wavelength by the infrared sauna. Blanket, just a blanket, right? That's $100. And then you can get a grounding sheet or a grounding mat. I sleep on a grounding sheet, and I've been sleeping on that for 3 months, and my sleep is way better. And I used to have like chronic low back pain. I'd wake up like an old man, because I was a chiropractor for 20 years, seeing 200 people a week, bending over my back. And that pain has been drastically decreased. So these are the two things recently in the last, the grounding sheet right there.
So quick question. I know a lot of people at home have panels in their house of like Juve or whatever, the red light panels. How does that compare to the sheet? You're going to say that, the blanket or whatever.
I have that too. I have the platinum. Okay. So these are great questions. If the person that's controlling this is doing a great job, if you could jump back to the other blog, I want to explain that. It all has to do with, so I'm a big believer in red light therapy. I have a red light therapy mat at my house. If you have Achilles tendon pain, and all these little gems are coming to me. If you have Achilles tendon pain, if you can go to that one right there, why chronic illness won't heal. Yeah. So if you have Achilles tendon pain, you can get these little boots on Amazon that are like red. They're like red light, but they're boots. And that's helped a lot of people with Achilles tendon. If you could scroll down a little bit, I show you that graph. Okay, right here, right there. So you can see that spectrum there. You can see like the visible light right there. So then like the red light is like the near infrared. It's red light and then it's near infrared, right? So I just remember near by it's near the sun. Yeah. And then you have mid and then you have far. So these different therapies are hitting different wavelengths, and these different wavelengths do very different things with the mitochondria. So like the near infrared, that will actually penetrate the mitochondria, and I don't want to geek out too much, but there's certain proteins in the mitochondria that will stimulate. So, this is where it comes down to like a comprehensive polytherapy approach. Okay, great. You have red light. Okay, you're hitting the near infrared and the red light, which helps mitochondria research. And then you get the infrared blanket. Now you're getting these wavelengths in your body. And then on top of that, now you're clearing a sinus infection, and then you're going to fix your gut. And then you're going to do maybe you have some sugar problems, and some food sensitivity problems. See, you can see that tell you, like, if you craft a plan that is that unique for that individual tailored person's suffering, like, you're going to move the needle. Like, let me see, you have a higher probability of moving the healing needle on someone like that than just going out and doing stem cell, IV therapy, whatever it is. And all those have a place. But if these low-hanging fruit, and the more I practice, the more low-hanging fruit there is that needs to be looked at, right? That's the thing. Like, oh, well, I never thought about infrared wavelength 3 months ago until I read this book. I'm like, wow, that makes sense to me. I'm just not going in the sauna for detox. It's actually helping my mitochondria. So as I learn more, and then these electron deficiency, I'm like, wow, that's like electron deficiency. This is another thing that you can add.
So, what do you think is the most important factor in someone healing from fluoroquinolone toxicity? Just one. You can only pick one. What do you say is most important?
If it was one, I would say change your diet and go carnivore-ish with fruit, no seeds for 4 weeks.
Wow. So that's high up there then.
That's high up there because I've had so many clinical changes with that one thing, and it doesn't cost any money. Like you just go to the store. It's everyone here that's watching this and will watch this in the future can do that thing right away. And that's going to move the needle on some people. No doubt it's going to move the needle.
Yeah.
So it's not even a supplement. It's not none of that.
So there's also some people that say sugar is bad and we shouldn't be eating fruit. What is your response to that?
I'm not in agreement with that. I think people need carbs.
They're getting the carbs from the sugar and the fruit.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, I'm not going to recommend you go eat like Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah, no, I know.
So yeah, I'm not like there's a whole spectrum, right? Of like where people stand. I'm not a fan of that. I do think people need carbs. And once people clear up, do this for 4 to 6 weeks, and they want to start add some things back, then I say, well, okay, well, you just add, what's one thing that you've been craving? I've been craving wheat bread. Well, okay, you can't bring that back in, okay?
Yeah.
No wheat bread or gluten, but maybe let's start with like cucumbers, or maybe start with like oatmeal or sweet potatoes, something to that effect.
Yeah. So to close out the show, for my part of the show, we're going to ask questions. We're going to let people ask questions after you answer this question. But I always end my part of the show with a message of hope. So I'm looking to you to give the viewers a message of hope that it is possible to heal from fluoroquinolone toxicity.
So here, I've been saying this since like my first FLOXED client, like whatever, 8 years ago. And I think this is on my website, is where there's help, there's hope. So where there's help, there is hope. So you got to find the right help. And then if that help, then there is going to be hope. And the thing that you need to do if you're out there suffering, and if you haven't done any of these things I spoken about, all these different things that you can do at home, go on my website and start implementing these things one at a time so then you can get better. I believe that every human being has the capacity to heal, that God designed us to be healthy. It's just a matter of figuring out where your weaknesses are and what you need to do to apply a polytheory approach to get better. That's my words of like hope and possibility.
Yeah, I think they're really good. And I'm hoping that as the viewers are watching this, they're thinking, well, maybe this isn't as complicated as I thought. I mean, it is complicated, but what I mean by that is like, I got to go get stem cells. I got to go get IV glutathione. I hope that when they're watching this, they understand that it's much more simpler to do. Right?
I'm in 100% agreement. And
yeah,
there's been cases, I remember like, this is maybe like 2.5 years ago, she was bedridden. And I'm thinking, man, I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be tough. Like, I'm thinking, like I was even debating if I should even bring her on because she's so tough. But then I was thinking to myself, well, I mean, I have some hope. I have some tools here. And she was like one of the first ones that I'm like, okay, you're going to go carnivore and fruit. And then we applied all these other things and she freaking popped. Like she got better. And like, since then I'm like, man, what if I would have said, there's no way, like you're bedridden, I don't want to give it a shot, but I did. And she got better. Mm-hmm. Right. And then I learned from that. Well, you should probably recommend this more. So even with that, like there's possibility for everyone to get better. It's just finding out what's hindering your ability to heal and function.
Yeah. So before I turn it over to questions to the viewers, I just want to say thank you for being here. And to the viewers, Dr. Hugh is going on my website.
Okay, well, I appreciate that.
My very small people will email me and be like, is that intentional? Did you forget to put doctors in there? Nope, it's intentional. Okay. Thank you for being here and for caring.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
That's what we need the most. So I'll let Dr. Jacqueline bring in the questions and then we can answer. So.
All right, so I'm going to cry.
Oh, Dr. Hugh saved my son's life after he was prescribed Cipro and another antibiotic didn't work for ear infection he got at the beach. I told you, Doctor Who, you have a lot of fans. He lost an entire month and parts of the 2 months afterward after Cipro devastated his brain. I went on doctors' websites and did everything he recommended for my 30-year-old son, and it worked. We managed to repair his brain mitochondria with this protocol. This was 2 summers ago. Mike is now completely normal in every way. I cannot thank Dr. Hugh Wegwerth enough. They make me emotional too. I get like that. Regular doctors did nothing for him, me either, at Chickadee. In fact, it was the PA who told us what was wrong. The same thing happened to his wife. He led us to your website. Thank you so much, Dr. Wegwerth. Thanks.
Yeah.
Are you seeing continued fluoride exposure continues to be a trigger?
Like in water?
Because we're told by other Phlox doctors, I know why he's asking this. I know Mark. We're told not to use fluoride toothpaste, not to drink the water, not to take any other fluorinated medication because we're already so damaged from the fluoroquinolone. So that's what a lot of us go by. I know I do. I dropped every medication that had fluoride. Dropped omeprazole, like gone because it had fluoride. So
I think that's the best policy for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So you do see that fluoride will trigger people.
I can't say that I do. But when people ask me about that, I would tell them like you would want to try and, clear your water of fluoride.
Yeah.
I have a Berkey system here, like it's a drip thing that has the fluoride filters on it. Yeah.
Yep. FQAD leads to CFS in many due to damaged mitochondria DNA. Any protocols for improving the energy situation?
Yeah, I have a lot of that is, it's kind of hard to say, like, this is all like uniqueness. Like, what's your gut? Are you having 2 to 3 bowel movements every single day? What's your glucose control? Are you having any control in spikes? So without knowing more, I would just go back to the thing. I would go the fruit, carnivore-ish and fruit and see if that helps. And then, I do believe like the infrared blanket is very powerful and the grounding mat. And these are 2 things that you can just buy on Amazon and you have these things. They're one-time purchases and you have them forever. But that could be like, what's your vitamin D status? What's your magnesium status, right? These all can lead to fatigue.
How do you feel about intermittent fasting? Which they say is good for
I'm not a big fan of it. If you've been damaged, if you've been damaged, and if you got a few extra pounds, maybe. But I've changed my opinion on that. People that are damaged, generally, they have sugars that are spiking all over the place, and they need to eat every 2 hours. Like if you're damaged, you're not like trying to do intermittent fasting. Like you're not, And if you feel better when you're doing intermittent fasting, you feel better because you've eliminated food that you're sensitive to causing inflammation in your body. So that would be the indicator that you want to look at your diet. Like, what are these foods that are causing me to feel horrible? And when I do intermittent fasting, I feel better. But no, I'm not a fan of intermittent fasting, especially for thin females. Bad news.
Yeah. Chickadee. We also did sun exposure and extended grounding. We live on a farm and Mike went barefoot and also laid on the ground. It was so soothing to him. Many times he fell asleep right on the ground.
Yeah, that's what a grounding sheet does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why it is so healthy to walk barefoot.
Yep.
You're grounding.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I just go by reviews on there. I don't have any specialty. I just go by reviews. And that's it when it comes to the red light on Amazon. So,
but you buy a lot of your stuff on Amazon though, right?
Yeah. I recommend people get the boot stuff on Amazon. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to red light, like I change because I just go on reviews. So if it has a good review, I'm willing to give it a shot.
Yeah. So the next one, I am sure I have a sinus infection and consequently a UTI. What do I do?
This brings me up another.
Here we go.
Okay, so all right, so here's the thing. Like if you have postnasal drip like this, that is very bad, because like if you have postnasal drip, those biofilms are in your sinuses, and guess what? You do that goes down in your stomach, it gets in your small intestine. That will cause small bacterial overgrowth, and that can actually lead to UTIs because you have chronic postnasal drip, and those bacteria are always getting down in your stomach, getting in your small intestine, and causing inflammation and more leaky gut, and now you have a UTI. So like this sinus thing is very critical.
So you actually you actually have a protocol, a video that explains the whole protocol, even without going to see you. It's got the scary little thing that that you clean your nose out with. What do you call that thing? That thing looks scary. What?
The Navage.
Navage, yeah. But the whole protocol is right there. Even before you see Dr. Hugh, you know what I mean? You can try it and see what it does. It's not like super invasive, and there's no antibiotics or anything. So
everything's on my website. Like I don't hide anything. I don't have any like magical gems in my closet right here that I pull out for paying clients. Everything is there. Just where I come in is I can connect the dots for people.
For UTIs, a lot of people preventatively, what do you think about these things? They're taking D-mannose if they have E. coli, uva ursi. Some people take oregano oil on a regular basis. What do you think about those things? And
I think all those are fine. I think it comes to individuality. Like what's the gut? Are they making 2 to 3 bowel movements every single day? Do they have any sinus infections? There's some other things there that people can
2 to 3 bowel movements a day.
That would be ideal.
Do people know this?
That would be ideal. Like one minimum. If you're not making one, there's issues.
Yeah. Okay. And I absolutely love this guy. I think a lot of people do. And in your protocol, do you have recommendations to increase your bowel movements? That's so funny.
Yeah. Okay. So here again, this is on my website. Yeah. So if you are constipated, get a chi machine. Talia, do you know what that is?
No, a chi.
A chi, CHIA, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, that's another protocol. If people can't move, that they're damaged, go on my website, hit chi. It's a thing that just moves their legs back and forth like this, right? It gets the lymph going, blood flow going, which if you're not moving, you have stagnant lymph and a blood flow going. You'd have to go to the search engine and hit. You're not doing this, are you, Talia? You're not doing this search, are you?
No, I'm not. No,
okay,
it's the producer of the show.
Okay, so you can do the chi machine. Another thing you can do is you can get like one of these massagers on Amazon. And then what you can do is when you lay on your back with your knees up, go around your gut clockwise, massaging your gut with the massager, right? And this thing will stimulate your enteric nervous system, which is a fancy word for saying your nervous system in your gut, will stimulate your enteric nervous system to start getting bowel movements going. So that's something you can do. Also, too, you can take magnesium. I have a protocol where you sip magnesium the whole entire day. That helps bowel movements. So you're sipping it. So you don't need to pay for an IV magnesium. You can literally just make it yourself for pennies on the dollar, and you just sip magnesium the whole day. You get magnesium powder.
And I've had some doctors, actually quite a bit, recommend propylmanin konjac fiber. Do you use that at all? Are you familiar with that?
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
They say it's like gentle and not making mast cells angry.
Okay.
Not like taking psyllium husk or something like that, because that can give people severe GI distress.
You can, for sure. All that fiber,
if you use propylmanin fiber.
I felt like I've been able to handle GI problems pretty easy, so I've never had to search out for these other things.
Yeah. I know some floxies who feel better in the garden or forest. Yeah,
grounding. Like literally, go get a grounding mat. Go get a grounding sheet. Like, watch my video. I mean, I put my hand on my sheet when it's not grounded, and it's actually there's positive electrons, and then I touch my grounding sheet when it's plugged in, and my electrons go to zero. Or my positive charge goes down to zero. It means all these electrons are flowing in my body, and it's free.
Do you think a part of going outside is also the vitamin D?
For sure. And the sun and the infrared rays.
Right. They come
That
from the sun.
Yeah, like people are sitting in their house, they're not getting the sunlight, and it's just not visual light. You have to realize there's 50% of the light that the sun produces you can't see, and that's where your mitochondria uses that. It's like photosynthesis. Like photosynthesis is like makes the world go around. Like it's sunlight that's hitting a plant, and that plant is taking God-given sun and creating something. It's the same thing with human beings. Human beings are wavelength deficient and electron deficiency, especially in chronic illness, because people just sit inside all day.
Woke up with high TMAO and gut odor from nose, suspect due to numerous supplements taken over 2+ years, recommended by 3 FQ specialists. Do you know what TMAO is?
It's an inflammatory marker. I don't run it. So I couldn't really give advice on that.
Yeah. You know, Dr. Jacqueline,
I mean, maybe you got to kind of look at it, and it possibly. Have you gone carnivore and fruit only?
She will be now if she hasn't yet. I can't sweat after Cipro. I see that a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's a detoxification pathways, and with the infrared blanket, you don't need to sweat. It's the temperature, right? It's the wavelength to try and get the systems moving. If you're not sweating, you got to make sure that you're going to the bathroom daily, poop daily, and if you have any gas or bloating, your detoxification pathways are backed up.
I really love this video on YouTube about neurological problems. He explains. So your video about neurological problems. He explains what happens in the brain, and I never heard it so simple. That was my first touch to this doctor. Thank you for all.
You're welcome.
What video is that? Can you share with us?
It's out of the 1400s, so it's one of my 1400s.
I know, you have so many.
Yeah, I have a lot. YouTube has banned my station, though. They don't want natural health care getting around.
Wondering why I always react negatively with red light therapy. I get extremely fatigued, swollen lymph nodes, under jaw, neck weakness. Has other FLOXES experienced? Yes, because other FLOXES have told me that. I don't know the answer to that either.
I don't know 100% either. It could be something with the cell membrane not well. I've told people stand further away from it, right? So maybe you can't handle the penetration of it, like being right on your back or wherever. Stand like a foot or 2 feet away, because the further you stay away from the red light, the less penetration the red light has. That's just how the physics of the wavelength works.
And but probably less time. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Talia.
And probably less time too, right? Like don't stand in it in 20 minutes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And the research shows like more is not better when it comes to red light. Anything more than 10 minutes, you're probably overkilling it. They all realize they've been damaged.
Yeah. That's why they're looking for you in the first place. I have. Do you know what that is? Erythromyalgia.
I do not know. No.
How long should your protocol be used? We did it for a year, even after Mike said he was 100% again.
I mean, that's like, once people heal up, then I just say, well, you got to kind of figure out what you need. Like you're the best doctor. You're going to know what's going to be needed for you. Like I always want to get grounding, right? I'm going to use my grounding sheet forever. I'm always going to go in the sauna because like I know the wavelength. I'm always going to take certain supplements and magnesium, and I do. So I think it would be like, I tell my wife I love her forever. When am I going to stop saying that? Like when she kicks me out. So hopefully it doesn't happen anytime soon. So some of these things you have to do kind of forever, right?
Oh, yes. Many people with the same problem. Spike protein is high. How can I bring that down?
Yeah. And these are all they're good questions. It's all individual kind of. You have to look at the individual case, trying to reduce as much inflammation as possible. Restore gut, restore cell membrane. So there's no answer to that.
There's no magic.
Was it vaccination damage, or was it just a natural? That's another thing. Was it vaccine damage, or is this natural immunity? Something's driving your immune system to have these things go high.
Do you take people's MTFR, their genes, when choosing protocols?
I used to do 23andMe all the time. I felt that. Here's another thing. I think like SNPs are like the sexy thing. Oh, I have this SNP. This is what's causing my problem. That's what I've seen. So I don't do 23andMe. I know about the SNPs. I feel sometimes people get so fixated on a SNP that's the sole reason, like the MTHFR. I have all these problems because I have an MTHFR. No, that might be contributing to the problem, but do you have hypoglycemia? Do you have high insulin? Do you have high ferritin? Do you have low magnesium status? Do you have low vitamin D status? What's your gut? Are you moving? Are you getting sunlight?
Yeah, one thing I tell people that reached out to me is even if you have the SNPs, you don't know it's actually been expressed. Right. So that's it. It's very individualized. So obviously, if you're having a problem with something and you see you have a SNP, yeah, it's probably materialized. But in other cases, you have SNPs and you don't feel that at all. Like so it's not like whatever your DNA says is.
I think people really fixated on these SNPs because it's like a sexy genetics.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, and this goes kind of like genetics is kind of like the shiny coin kind of thing. So I just stopped doing 23andMe. I did tons of studying on all these SNPs, and I didn't feel like it really changed my outcomes. If you have a MTHFR, generally you can see that in blood work with high homocysteine or So there's a variety of things, workarounds that you can look at blood work.
Yeah. So I know we're at 12 o'clock. I don't know if there's any more questions, if we just want to stop there. But if people want to get in touch with you, Dr. Hugh, how do they do that?
The best way is just to go to my website and they can schedule a call there. And I tell people they should browse the content and look around and self-educate themselves. And this person that talked about their son, who was better, like they never saw me. They never were clients. They just went on to the website and did the protocols there. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you'll also be on my website. So everybody that goes to mine, you can get to him through there. But he's super responsive. I can tell you that. When I reached out to him, he reached out to me like 15 minutes later. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. I mean,
you're like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like a huge clinic, right? It's not like we have 20 employees. Like it's small, it's simple, and we get people better.
This is your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You have so many videos. So I suggest people like type in keywords to find the videos.
Yeah.
And again, you can reach him at his website. He will be on my website after today. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. And I think that is it. I think that should be the end of the show. It's an hour. And I thank you all for your time. Hope this was informative. Also, if you have questions, you can leave them in the video below. I look at the questions after the episode is aired, and
you could send those questions to me and I could answer them too.
Yeah, because we talk regularly. So you can send questions that way too. And I hope you'll check out Dr. Hugh. And that's all I got for today. And I'll see you all next month. Maybe I might have a show at the end of January, but I'll keep you posted. Thanks, everybody. Stay healthy.
Take care.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Tracy Cram-Perkins, a dementia caregiving survivor teaching how to balance care with peace of mind. #1 resource for dementia caregivers. It's the book Dementia Home Care: How to Prepare Before, During, and After. Over 17,000 copies sold of this must-have guide. And now a testimonial from Tracy Smith.
If I was to describe this book to someone who is going through a similar situation, I would underscore how important it is to have some sort of a tool or a guidebook to help you through certain stages. And there's so many, it's such an unknown topic to the average person. And to have this as a reference is essential. It's going to help you get through it personally, as well as help your loved one manage.
To learn more, go to TracyCramPerkins.com. Tracy Cram-Perkins is an award-winning author. She's also the host of Dementia Home Care television show. Watch it here on USA Global TV and Radio.
In a noisy world, true connection begins with listening. Elevated listening transforms every conversation in just 5 simple steps. Pause and breathe. Set your intention. Listen with curiosity. Reflect back. Agree on one next step. Join the Listening Mentor on Let's Finally Talk with Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, the Listening Mentor, where we help you find inner peace, one conversation at a time. Streaming every day. Let's Finally Talk TV show with Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, only here on USA, Global TV and Radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channels to watch and engage with all our content.
Have you ever felt unheard? Like your words float into a void, leaving you invisible and disconnected? How about feeling judged, when assumptions overshadow your truth, leaving you misunderstood and defensive? And then there's that moment when someone offers solutions you never asked for, dismissing your feelings and leaving you more frustrated than before. It doesn't have to be this way. Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, the Listening Mentor, understands. She's here to help you reclaim your voice, build stronger connections, and create meaningful conversations that inspire understanding and mutual respect. Through her groundbreaking books, online and in-person courses, and interactive workshops, you'll learn how to navigate life's most challenging interactions. Discover the power of elevated listening and transform how you communicate. Master setting boundaries and asking permission to protect your peace. Learn to recognize and release judgment, fostering empathy and true connection. Dr. Kerbeck also offers personalized coaching, one-on-one or group sessions designed to fit your unique needs. Whether in person or virtually on StreamYard, her guidance will empower you to thrive. You don't have to struggle alone. The path to deeper connections and better relationships start here. Visit drjacqueline.com or usaglobaltv.com. Join a global community of empowered listeners and transform your life, one meaningful conversation at a time. Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck is the Listening Mentor. Start your journey today. Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honored to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USAGlobalTV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives, one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.